Welcome back. It's Dr. Jen Ferboni, better known as DocJenFit, doctor of physical therapy and owner and founder of Gen Health, your one stop for all aches and pains that you can freely search through our movement playlist or type in anything that you're looking for. And I promise we're going to have a video to help you. Today's video is mobility for the core, which no one thinks about, right? So I really want to help you to relieve tension all the way from the rib cage area where the top of our core starts all the way down into our pelvic floor. So relieving our pelvic floor tension, restoring this entire core, because when it can expand better, it can strengthen and coordinate better. So we have to get that mobility first, and I'm going to help you to do that today. So for today, I have a little pillow with me. Now this is optional. You don't have to have it, but I'm going to show you how it creates a little bit more feedback if needed. And then I also have a yoga block. Now that's completely optional. That's if you need a little bit more height in one of the exercises that we're going to do, but we're going to start by just laying on our back. So come onto your back here. Make sure this is out of our way. And we're actually going to do what's called a Ribcage Dig. And this is one of my favorite things to do, especially all through pregnancy. Whew, we get lots happening up here. So relax the legs. I like to put the knees together. That kind of helps to create some of that relaxation. We're going to take our fingers here and we're going to start to explore underneath our rib cage. So find different areas that might feel like, ooh, there is some tightness and restriction, and see, can I take a deep breath into that? Expanding out to the sides and relaxing. And with each breath, you can use those fingers to create expansion from that rib cage. So as you breathe in, feel like you can move that rib cage out and feel that rib cage move back on a long, slow exhale. So now I feel like I can mobilize a lot under my rib cage. I've done this many times. I've done it in different ways. So you might need to explore, what feels tighter for you. Start where you don't want it to be, you don't want to be wincing against it. You don't want to be in pain, but you just want some moderate pressure. Take a deep breath and relax. So we're doing 5 intentional breaths, like somewhere around that rib cage that feels really intense and tight. And for a lot of people, they tend to have a lot of right-sided tightness. So making sure that you're really addressing, where that is within your body. What does it feel different from side to side? And where can I get those fingers under? And for some, if you're like, ooh, I can really mobilize underneath and I have no restrictions, great. We'll just work on that inhale expansion, exhale relaxation. So just start to feel that rib cage move in general. Okay, it's a great place to start. Then we're going to roll it over to our sides. And this is where a pillow can really come in handy for some really good feedback on what's happening with that rib cage. So I can take that pillow and lay on my rib cage on the side. And again, you don't have to have that. Okay. And then I'm going to place my hand, if you can, on that top rib cage. And I want to think of giving it a little compression and then inhale into those hands and the pillow. Exhale, relax. Give a little compression before the inhale. Exhale. And the exhale is just a relaxation. It's not a forced exhale. We're not really trying to contract the core. Okay. Inhale into those hands and pillow. And exhale. And the goal here for expanding that lateral rib cage movement is that we're better able to move those ribs, get better diaphragmatic release. And so we extend our pressure around our abdomen rather than straight down or straight out or anywhere else that maybe some diastasis recti, some pressure into that pelvic floor area, pressure into the back. So when we can expand from the rib cage, we automatically help to mobilize tension anywhere else in that core system. Okay, especially into the pelvic floor. So putting some pressure onto that top rib cage, breathing in, exhale, nice and slow. Pressure down, inhale. really think of directing that pressure of that inhale into the pillow and into that low rib cage. Okay. So you trying not to allow those shoulders to just come up with the inhale. We don't want the chest to come up toward our chin. We want to keep that all relaxed. Last one, breathing up and out, expand. And hopefully that gives you some better insight into like a diaphragmatic breath. It's not just a belly breath, right? The belly is naturally going to expand with that expansion from that rib cage because it all works together, but it's not just a forced exhale. We have to get that rib cage moving because that's going to help to coordinate that pelvic floor and that entire core contraction with a lot of different exercises without even having to think about it. That's the goal too. Like that's why we're using these lateral breaths. Okay. So now I'm going to go into a half kneel, and this is where this is called a yoga block. This is where the yoga block can come in really handy. Okay. So I'm going to step in front. Which way do I want to go first? I'm going to take my right leg in front, just so you see what's happening. So I want to draw this hip straight back, and I'm going to rotate into my leg. Okay. So already I'm creating a little bit of hip internal rotation here, trying to open up the back of my pelvis. So this is where I can have a yoga block so I don't have to reach so low. So again, from here, pull that hip straight back, pull that knee straight back out, and then rotate my chest into my leg. And what I want to feel is like your sit bone here is going to open out. Okay. And I'm going to think of taking a big breath. I want to open this entire area. I don't actually need the yoga block. So I'm going to open out this way to get that rotation in toward your leg. Pull that knee in, rotate into that chest, and then come up here into that half windmill position. Take a deep breath and focus that breath out. Or low into the pelvic floor area. Again, from that rib cage and low. One more. And then try the other side. So it takes time to really get into that. This is one of my favorite ways to start to address the back of the pelvic floor. Another good way is like sitting on either like a tennis ball or like a therapy ball that you can kind of sit into on the inside of those sit bones. That's where we get a lot of tension in the back side of that pelvic floor area, sometimes the front, but relaxing tension externally is a great way and a cue to help to reduce some of that tension. So again, I'm going to take in that half kneeling position, take that knee straight back. So already I'm trying to cause opening into that glute here. And then I'm trying to think of this sit bone pulling back and out. And that just happens from moving my knee in toward my chest, rotating up. And I'm going to take 3 breaths from that rib cage down, breathing in. See if you can melt into that hip even more. So that means I'm going to think of drawing that tailbone forward as that knee and kind of femur push backwards. So really opening up that back side of the hip. A few more. And I do tend to be a little bit more flexible, a little bit more mobile. Obviously, I've worked on a lot of this stuff. So if you're not in that position quite yet, that's okay. Okay. I'm going to give you one modified position just so that you can start to try to open up some of that tension. So putting your leg a little bit higher and then dropping into it. So already I'm going to drop, sending my hip bone back and then coming into a rounded position and just doing 3 breaths here. So that's kind of opening the backside of my pelvis, opening around my rib cage as I take a breath and exhale. So that is a modified version to the half windmill. If you're like, listen, that windmill, I don't feel it. I don't know what I'm doing. That's a good way that you can modify that position and still be able to start to get some length. And remember, the length of the pelvic floor comes from the opening of that rib cage. That's why it's so crucial and important that we're breathing from those sides of the rib cage. Now we're going to come into a quadruped position. So hands directly underneath you, knees underneath you. If you need to, you can fold up the mat a little bit, place your hands or your palms on a higher surface to take some pressure off your wrists. You can also hold your hands on some weights or put your elbows onto an ottoman, okay? Put some pressure into your fingertips. And we're going to find kind of like your own neutral position. So kind of extend that back and then round that back, mainly from the pelvis. So I want you to use your pelvis, not too much of your upper back, but extend, round, and then start to make it a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller. Find that neutral position. And you're going to stop where that feels like, okay, that's kind of in between those two movements. Pushing into my fingertips, pushing the ground away. So I'm kind of pressing the ground away without rounding. I'm just kind of stabilizing. Now I want to take some deep breaths. So we're going to start to feel, what does it feel like to gather that entire deep core? So I'm going to take a deep breath in from that rib cage that we just worked on. As I exhale, think of a blueberry pulling up and in from the vagina and then zipping it all the way up to the rib cage. Inhale, expand from that rib cage, let it go. Open from that pelvic floor as you inhale, and then exhale. So as you exhale, that pressure coming in, you're kind of flattening through that lower abdominal, and then the rib cage is the last thing to kind of meet it. So we don't want to be rotating or tucking. So this is going to keep you honest, being in this kind of quadruped position. Now, if you do not have a vagina, another thing for those who have balls and penises is to think you're going into really cold water. And as you go into cold water, you kind of suck up and in, right? And so that's the cue. The reason we say sucking up and in, or thinking of like you're sucking around a smoothie up and in, because it's not just a squeeze motion, but it's a lift of that pelvic floor with that breath. So again, inhale from that rib cage, expand the space between your tailbone and your sit bones as you inhale as well. Exhale, feel that contraction from that right between the sit bones. Let's try 2 more. Let everything go on that inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let it go. Exhale. And again, if you were like, I have no idea what you just did, it takes time. So keep practicing this over and over. This is one position to practice in. This is one type that you can do, but this really helps to give you an idea of what we mean by it. Especially, I feel like when you're in this position, you can start to get that length in the back of that pelvis and the back of that pelvic floor when you do that inhale, and especially the space with your ribs. So that helps when we get length, then we get the contraction. Okay. Now we want to just relax it out. Now, instead of just doing a regular cat-cow, we're going to do more of a spinal roll. So I want you to take your tailbone, and we're going to focus on that tailbone area, and we're going to start to dive it forward or dive it out. So hip bones forward, and then you're going to just drop along your spine until your head lifts. And now we'll reverse it from the head. So chin coming towards your chest. And then once the chin hits your chest, now the shoulders are going to push to round to the upper back, and then round down the body. And then the tailbone is the last thing to tuck. So let's try that again. Untuck the tailbone, just the tailbone. So keep everything else rounded. Draw those hip bones forward. And then as you go forward, feel the rest of the spine start to come along. The shoulder blades start to drop. And then the head lifts to find full extension in that neck. Then again, draw that chin in. Push between the shoulder blades to round up into the spine. And then keep rounding until the tailbone is the last thing to tuck under. A lot of people in a cat-cow, they leave the tailbone and the pelvis behind. So this is why we're doing it in a segmented way to really get that full mobility along the spine. So untuck that pelvis, draw those hip bones down, and that's going to lead up along the entire spine. Shoulder blades drop. Neck is the last thing to extend. Last one, chin to your chest. push between your shoulder blades, push round to the ceiling, round, 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 round. And then tailbone is the last thing to come down. And you might be thinking, why was that so slow? It's harder. It's harder when we slow down movements so that we become more intentional, we gain more control and awareness in that movement. Thanks so much. I hope that you start to understand, where am I breathing from? Where am I moving from? Especially when someone says, hey, take a deep breath. Am I automatically pulling my shoulders up to my ears, or am I expanding from my rib cage? Am I relaxing my pelvic floor when I do things throughout the day? We don't want to be holding in this tension all the time. Okay. So this is kind of our way of being able to find that full contraction, find that full relaxation, and then say, how can I relax more throughout the day? And if you want more of this awareness, we go into this way more in our pelvic floor foundations course, where I take you through a really detailed understanding of where we hold stress that's related to pelvic floor tension. We go through posture, we go through a lot more breath work, we go through directed exercises to rebuild that pelvic floor and deep core coordination, and then a series of exercises to really hone that in. So this is a program you can keep for life. It's very educational. Not only is there a webinar with a pelvic floor therapist, but there's daily educational downloadable information that you have as well. So I hope that if you are wondering about this pelvic floor, this deep core connection, this core in general is feeling weak, I highly recommend getting into our pelvic floor foundations course, and we have a code for you. So click the link. I'll have it in the description or up above. Don't forget, if you love what you're learning, I have so much more in stock for you. So hit that subscribe button, check out the other videos I've done in the past, and leave any comments of any suggestions that you have for videos in the future. And I can't wait to help you feel incredible and amazing within your body.